Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, and the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. The salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, I'm Noah Allah from Gemma, Chicago, and I'm going to just go into a quick lesson about, the upcoming digital ID because, Esau is getting ready to implement the RFID microchip, which is the charagma, spoken in Revelations, the 13th, the 16th verse, alright? But now you're hearing more talks about, the digital ID being implemented. Now, they're about to do it in the UK, mandatory in order for people to work, alright? They're about to do it in Russia, alright? And then now they're talking about it, that they're about to do it in Mexico. And in other countries too, like Canada, right? And surely, but real soon, all right, America will be next, all right? Because right now, what you're seeing here in America is, Esau pushing people to the brink, all right? Esau is putting the squeeze on these people, this financial squeeze, and this economic depression that these people are facing with right now, right? Because, the government is now shut down. A lot of people are struggling right now, all right? A lot of people are unemployed as far as them being in the government. As far as them being a federal worker, all right? Some law enforcement are getting half their paycheck right now. And real soon, they're not going to be able to get any of it as we come into the next month, all right? And what, those SNAP benefits are about to be cut. And then what, Esau's creating the problem, reaction, solution right now. He's creating the problem, all right? This financial squeeze that these people are experiencing, all right? And he's going to come out with that solution, that so-called solution by the way of gradually pushing forth the RFID microchip. All right, but it first starts with this. All right, the digital ID system, the central bank digital currency, the UBI, Universal Basic Income. All right, the social credit score system that Esau is about to implement. All right, all this stuff is coming. All right, but nonetheless, it says Mexico's national digital ID system, which incorporates biometric data like fingerprints and photographs into a unique population registry code, CURP, is being implemented for identity validation, government services, and law enforcement. The system is mandatory and will be available in physical and digital formats, with companies required to access both. An additional mechanism, MV Lab, will serve as a single sign-on for government platforms linked to CURP. Well, it's only mandatory, on some things, but it tells you in all these other news sources here too. Mexico makes biometric identifier mandatory for all citizens. And this was like not too long ago in July, all right? Russia. Digital ID. Canada. You see, Canada is developing the process of developing a digital identifier ecosystem, but it is not a single mandatory national ID. Instead, the system is decentralized and optional, with standards set at a federal level and programs rolled out by different levels of government and private sector. But they're going to make this shit, mandatory for citizens too, because you already saw a prime example, the digital ID over there in the UK that they're about to make mandatory. Alright. Hey, not a lot of people is talking about this, alright, but hey, I'm pretty surprised how at least one individual at my job, all right, was speaking about this. I didn't even brought it up myself, but when she was, talking about it, I'm like, damn, she knows about this too. Yeah, it's definitely coming. That's the Prime Minister of the UK, all right, has already said that real soon, all right, people, citizens will need a digital ID in order to work, all right, and they're gonna do that here too in the U.S. Or Second Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And yeah, we're not ignorant of Satan's schemes, all right? We're not ignorant of what he saw us planning to do because, we've been knowing this stuff, right, through the scriptures, all right? The Bible tells us about, in the scriptures, it tells us about, the implementation of the RFID microchip, all right? And giving us insight of the police state that is yet to come. And we're seeing that right now, with these National Guard troops being deployed out here in America, all right? These ICE agents, the system failing here in America to where, all hell is about to break loose and shit. A lot of division. Kind of like that one movie that they were about to bring out called Gray State. All right, in that movie, it showed you, that trailer basically showed you what you're about to see right now, where they had martial law. All right, they had FEMA camps. All right, they were gunning people down. They were making the RFID microchip mandatory. All right, and a lot of people were getting it. All right, in order for you to participate in society, in order for you, to continue working, and living, and if you want to eat and all this, all right, they made it to where, they're going to make it to where without this RFID microchip, you can't do any of those things. All right, and a lot of people are going to fold. Look, government shutdown becomes third longest in history with no end in sight on day 17. Third longest in history with no end in sight on day 17. These people are, a lot of people that are even like talking about this government shutdown, how, they're really just losing their shit. All right, even those that actually got money as well. All right, they're losing their shit. And what? They're going to, they're going to comply into getting, the RFID microchip. All right. And this is just the beginning as well. This is the beginning of sorrows that we're coming into. And these people are losing their shit right now. But how much more, all right, as when all hell breaks loose. And hey, we're very blessed to have this word. All right, we're very blessed to have this truth because we're not like these people. All right, we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, we have the ability, to stay calm in the times that we're coming into. Because hey, trials and tribulations have been hitting us. All right. Matthew 10:22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. And that's us of the hopeful elect that are enduring unto the end. All right. Of the hopeful elect that are just enduring until the end. Right. Oh, us going through all these trials and tribulations, having financial problems, all right, family problems, you name it, situations where, your bitch might leave you and all that, your car breaks down and shit. It's all just meant to, try us as gold is being tried in the furnace, all right, to just make us more, pure, getting rid of the impurities out of us and, realizing that that we're able to, take in as much punches as we can, so that we don't fall like these other people when they lose it all. All right, in that time of Jacob's trouble, because they're about to, when they lose it, they're about to really lose it. And us, so the hopeful, like, because we got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we understand why these things are happening. All right, we understand that this wicked, temporal, evil world that we're in is not everlasting. All right, this world is temporary, and all the things that are in this world is all temporary. See, First John and 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So we're not supposed to love the things that are of this world. All right. You know, being in hopeful elect, you don't want to build on this place. Or you're not seeking to build on this place, because here we don't have a continuing city. All right. Here we are, in America, and we're seeing society already breaking down. All right, according to the scriptures, all right, it tells you about the signs of the times that we're in. Right, the wars and the rumors of wars, the uproars of the people. All right, the pestilences. All right, these earthquakes in diverse places that you're seeing. The World War III escalation tensions between all these different countries, such as the U.S. and Russia and China. All right, we know that we're at the end based upon prophecy. Yet, we're not supposed to be joined unto this world, because this world is just temporary. Right, all of it is about to vanish. It's about to be destroyed. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, abideth forever. And that's right. The elect are going to abide forever, right? Because they're keeping the they're keeping the fear of the Lord. All right, they're enduring unto the end for Yahushai's sake. Keeping the word of the Lord's patience, all right, enduring unto the end. Verse 18, little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that an Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. And that's right, there is going to be a lot of, Antichrist. And what is it speaking about? All right, the Antichrist, that being of more than one, all right, is speaking about the 2/3 of our people. All right, especially those who are going to be taking the R50 microchip. All right, when the scriptures tell you, all right, when the Lord already tells you not to take it, and that is the one sin that you cannot repent. All right, no turning back. Once you take the RFID microchip, all right. Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And that is going to be by the way of thermonuclear missiles that are going to hit here in America and Israel. And those who took the mark, all right, you're going to be cut off. All right. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment is kindled up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see? That's the, you know, this, this, this device, all right, is already here, right? This device is already here. It's only a matter of time before it gets implemented. And you're seeing the beginning stages of that by Esau's way of gradualism. All right. All right, this will be people's wallets, right? Their ID, their keys. All in this one chip. The people's new way of buying and selling by this one chip. And nonetheless, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.